Do you remember the festive Christmas dinners from your childhood, filled with dishes, traditions, and laughter that made the season special? Let's rekindle the magic and explore the 25 cherished Christmas dinner traditions we've left behind. Feast of the Seven Fishes. Have you ever wondered what makes a holiday tradition truly unforgettable? In the U.S., families gather every Christmas Eve to celebrate a unique ritual known as the Feast of the Seven Fishes, a meal that brings the warmth of Italian heritage to life. This festive tradition invites loved ones to enjoy not just one seafood dish, but seven, each prepared uniquely, creating a flavorful journey from crispy calamari to buttery clams and savory cod stew. While its exact origins are a bit mysterious, this celebration is a true classic among Italian customs, transporting everyone to a cozy coastal village with every bite. It's not just about food, it's about gathering together, savoring each other's company, and creating a moment of connection in the heart of the holiday season. Can you remember a time when a meal brought people closer? That's the magic of the Feast of the Seven Fishes, a tradition that celebrates both flavor and family. KFC Christmas dinners. But the power of a holiday meal to bring us together isn't limited to elaborate feasts. In Japan, there was once a quirky yet beloved tradition of KFC Christmas dinners, a custom born out of clever marketing in the 1970s that offered a festive feast for families without Western holiday traditions. For those who didn't observe Christmas religiously, like us with my Buddhist Japanese mother, KFC became a comforting, familiar way to enjoy the holiday spirit. Each year, we'd wait in long lines for our pre-ordered buckets of fried chicken, complete with festive sides, and gather around the table, sharing laughter and crispy bites. It may sound simple, but for families like ours, this meal was a unique Christmas celebration. Nowadays, times have changed, and many opt for more elaborate meals, often overlooking the charm of these simple traditions. Just as the Feast of the Seven Fishes reminds us of flavor and family, remembering those KFC Christmases reminds us that it wasn't about the food itself, but the warmth of sharing a meal and creating a sense of belonging in the holiday season. Chicken pot pie. While some holiday traditions are quirky, others are filled with the warmth of a home-cooked meal. Do you remember a holiday meal that felt like a warm hug after a long winter day? For many, chicken pot pie was the perfect comfort food at Christmas. A hearty, flaky crust filled with tender chicken, vegetables, and a creamy sauce that melted in your mouth. Growing up, our Christmas dinners often included this simple yet satisfying dish, its savory aroma filling the house as it baked in the oven. The golden crust, with its buttery layers, was the perfect complement to the rich, flavorful filling, making each bite a moment of pure joy. It wasn't just about food, it was about family gathering around the table, savoring a meal that felt both comforting and special. This holiday meal has become more extravagant. The humble chicken pot pie has faded from many Christmas menus. Doesn't it make you miss the simplicity of those cozy dinners when a dish like this was all you needed to feel the warmth of the season? Raclette. In much the same way, some families find a sense of warmth and togetherness in a shared dish like raclette. Do you remember a Christmas dinner so cozy that each bite felt like a warm hug? For families who enjoy raclette, that's exactly the kind of meal they create together, a traditional Swiss dish where melted cheese becomes the star of the holiday table. In its classic form, raclette involves placing a wheel of cheese under a grill and then scraping the gooey golden top layer onto potatoes, bread, or charcuterie. It's a slow, interactive dinner where each person savors their turn, the aroma of melting cheese filling the room and sparking laughter and stories. However, as more people gravitate toward formal plated dinners, the charm of this communal raclette feast is fading. Today's holiday menus often miss out on the simplicity of raclette, a meal where everyone leans in, sharing not just food, but the joy of a time-honored ritual. Doesn't it make you long for the warmth of a shared table, where every bite feels like home? Prawn curry. Just as raclette creates that feeling of togetherness, so does the tradition of a spiced prawn curry on Christmas Eve. Do you remember the aroma of a warm, spiced prawn curry filling the house on a cold Christmas Eve? For some families, a prawn curry wasn't just dinner, it was a holiday ritual, a spicy, comforting dish that brought everyone together. Growing up, Christmas dinner meant simmering prawns in a fragrant curry, rich with coconut milk, chili, and a blend of family secret spices, creating a meal that was both humble and unforgettable. We'd gather around the table, each spoonful a burst of warmth and flavor that seemed to capture the heart of the holiday. But now, in an era where traditional recipes are often replaced with modern fusion dishes, the prawn curry has become a rarity on Christmas tables. Many have turned to trending holiday recipes, forgetting the soulful dishes that once made these moments so special. Doesn't it make you miss the simple pleasure of a familiar family meal where flavors spoke of love and memories as much as spices? Lumberjack's dinner. Much like the prawn curry, there's a certain timeless warmth in a hearty meal that can fuel you through winter's coldest nights. Have you ever tasted a holiday meal so hearty it could fuel you through winter's coldest nights? For many, the Lumberjack's Christmas dinner was exactly that. A feast built to be warm and satisfying, with rich, comforting dishes that filled both plate and spirit. This meal often included roasted meats, thick slabs of bread, mashed potatoes, and root vegetables, all seasoned to perfection and prepared with rustic, home-style care. Families would gather around to share this no-frills yet deeply satisfying meal, the table heavy with flavors that were as grounding as the pine forests themselves. Yet, as more elaborate holiday dinners take the stage, the humble Lumberjack's Christmas dinner has become a rare sight. Today, people often overlook the simplicity and charm of these old-fashioned meals, opting instead for modern holiday menus. But if you think back, doesn't a classic meal like this remind you of the power and simplicity of a hearty plate shared among loved ones that truly warms the heart? Panettone with wine. In the same way, simple traditions like sharing a slice of panettone have the power to bring everyone closer. Remember a holiday tradition so simple yet special that it brought everyone closer? For many, enjoying a slice of panettone with a glass of wine is exactly that, a comforting, time-honored Christmas ritual. This Italian sweet bread, dotted with candied fruits and raisins, has a light, airy texture that pairs perfectly with the rich, fruity notes of red wine. Growing up, we'd gather around the table after dinner, each of us with a slice and a glass, sharing stories and laughter that filled the room. It wasn't just dessert, it was a way to slow down, connect, and feel the warmth of the season. Yet today, as holiday desserts become more elaborate, this simple tradition is often overlooked. Doesn't it make you miss the days when all it took was panettone and wine to create a moment of genuine holiday joy? Cabbage roll dinner. In the same spirit of simplicity, many families also cherish the humble, comforting meal of cabbage roll dinner. Do you remember a Christmas dinner so comforting it felt like a warm embrace? For many families, cabbage roll dinner was the heart of the holiday meal, filled with tender cabbage leaves wrapped around a savory mixture of ground meat, rice, and spices, all slow-cooked in a rich tomato sauce. The aroma that filled the house as these rolls simmered was enough to make anyone feel at home. Growing up, our Christmas dinners often centered around this dish, its hearty flavors and cozy warmth bringing the family together at the table. It wasn't just food, it was tradition, a way to connect with our heritage and share something passed down through generations. Today, however, as holiday meals grow more extravagant, the simple joy of a cabbage roll dinner has faded from many Christmas tables. Doesn't it make you long for those old-fashioned meals where the food wasn't fancy, but the love and memories packed into each bite were enough to make it unforgettable? Truck roast. The tradition of a perfectly roasted pork roast brings its own warmth and sense of togetherness. Have you ever experienced a Christmas dinner that was so satisfying it became a cherished tradition? For many, a pork roast was the centerpiece of the holiday feast, its crackling skin, juicy meat, and savory aroma filling the house with warmth and anticipation. Growing up, our Christmas table would be adorned with perfectly roasted pork, accompanied by mashed potatoes, gravy, and roasted vegetables. The rich, tender meat paired with the crispy skin was the highlight of the meal, bringing everyone together to enjoy not just the food, but the joy of the season. It wasn't just about eating. It was about creating memories with loved ones, celebrating a meal that had been carefully prepared and shared with care. However, as holiday meals have become more varied and complex, the humble pork roast has begun to fade from many Christmas tables. Don't you miss the simplicity of a traditional roast, where every bite felt like a warm, familiar hug on a cold winter's night? Tamales. In much the same way, tamales bring their own sense of tradition and togetherness to the holiday season. Do you remember a holiday meal that brought the family together in the most delicious way? For many, tamales at Christmas is more than just a meal. It's a tradition that carries with it the warmth of family, culture, and togetherness. The process of making tamales is often a family affair, with everyone pitching in to prepare the masa, fill them with savory meats or sweet fillings, and carefully wrap each one in a corn husk. On Christmas Eve, these little bundles of flavor are steamed to perfection, filling the home with their irresistible aroma. As we gathered around the table to share the fruits of our labor, each bite was a reminder of the love and effort that went into making the season special. Holiday meals become more modern and streamlined. Tamales are no longer a constant on every Christmas table. Doesn't it make you long for those moments when food was a labor of love, where the kitchen was full of family and the meal was about so much more than just eating? Roast goose. In a similar vein, the roast goose has long been a symbol of holiday luxury and tradition. Can you remember a Christmas dinner so grand it felt like the highlight of the season? For many, a roast goose was the ultimate holiday centerpiece, its golden, crispy skin and tender meat bringing both elegance and warmth to the table. Growing up, the Christmas feast always felt complete with the sight of a perfectly roasted goose, surrounded by savory stuffing, roasted potatoes, and rich gravy. The aroma that filled the house as it cooked made the anticipation even sweeter, and every slice of that juicy meat was savored, creating moments of togetherness and joy. It wasn't just a meal, it was a celebration, a way to mark the season with something truly special. However, as times change and holiday traditions evolve, the roast goose has become a rare sight at many Christmas tables. Doesn't it make you nostalgic for those old-fashioned feasts, when a simple, well-roasted bird brought so much warmth and meaning to the holiday gathering? Cheesy fondue. Cheesy fondue has long been a cherished tradition that brought people together in its own special way. Remember a holiday meal that was as much about the experience as it was about the food? For many, cheesy fondue was the ultimate way to enjoy Christmas dinner, a fun, interactive feast that brought the whole family together. The pot, bubbling with rich melted cheese, was surrounded by cubes of bread, vegetables, and fruits, ready to be dipped and savored. The creamy, savory cheese paired perfectly with a glass of wine or hot cider, making every bite a little celebration in itself. As we gathered around the fondue pot, dipping and laughing, it wasn't just about the food. It was about creating memories, connecting over a shared tradition, and enjoying the slow, joyful moments of the holiday season. However, as holiday meals have become more formal and elaborate, cheesy fondue has become a rare treat. Doesn't it make you nostalgic for those easy, fun dinners when all it took was a bubbling pot of cheese to bring everyone together? Czech Christmas Carp. Some families find connection through their own deeply rooted traditions, like the Czech Christmas Carp. Do you remember a Christmas meal so steeped in tradition that it felt like a slice of heritage on your plate? For many Czech families, Christmas carp was the star of the holiday feast, a dish that carried both cultural significance and culinary warmth. On Christmas Eve, it was common to find the family gathered around the table, enjoying crispy fried carp or a rich carp soup, each bite a reminder of centuries-old traditions. The fish, often served with potato salad, was more than just a meal. It was a symbol of togetherness, and its preparation was often a family affair, with stories and laughter filling the room as the carp was carefully cooked and served. Christmas dinners evolve and global influences shape holiday menus. Czech Christmas carp is becoming less common. Doesn't it make you long for those traditions that, though simple, connected us to our roots and brought the joy of the season to life in such a special way? Haggis. Same way. Some dishes, like haggis, hold deep cultural significance and create lasting memories. Do you remember a holiday meal so rich in history that it felt like a celebration of tradition itself? For many, haggis was the heart of their Christmas dinner, a dish that carries the bold flavors of Scotland and the warmth of family gatherings. Traditionally, haggis is made with sheep's heart, liver, and lungs, mixed with oats and spices, then cooked in the stomach lining. Though it may sound unusual to some, its hearty, savory flavor, especially when paired with mashed potatoes and turnips, is a taste that many cherish deeply. Growing up, the aroma of a freshly cooked haggis would fill the house, and its unique flavor brought everyone to the table to enjoy a truly distinctive meal. In modern times, as holiday meals become more mainstream and less adventurous, haggis has faded from many Christmas menus. Doesn't it make you miss the meals that carried so much tradition, where each bite was a taste of heritage and home? Bacalhau à Brás. Similarly, in Portugal, there's a dish that carries the essence of tradition just as strongly. Do you remember a Christmas dish so distinctively flavorful that it felt like a celebration of tradition on your plate? For many Portuguese families, bacalhau à Brás, a comforting and savory dish made with salt cod, onions, thinly sliced potatoes, eggs, and fresh parsley, holds a special place in holiday gatherings. The salted cod, soaked and then delicately shredded, is combined with golden potatoes and soft scrambled eggs, creating a warm, comforting blend that's both hearty and elegant. Growing up, Christmas dinners weren't complete without this family favorite on the table. Its familiar aroma filling the room and bringing everyone together to share in a time-honored recipe. Globalized holiday menus become more common, and bacalhau à Brás is gradually becoming a rare find at Christmas. Doesn't it make you nostalgic for those simple, flavorful dishes that carried the warmth of home, where every bite felt like a reminder of family tradition and the joy of the season? Feasting on spices and sauces. Holiday meals so rich in spices and sauces that every bite felt like a journey of flavors. Have you ever had a holiday meal so rich in spices and sauces that every bite felt like a journey of flavors? For many families, Christmas dinner was about more than just the main dishes. It was the sauces, gravies, and spices that brought everything together, transforming each course into a vibrant, layered experience. The warm, earthy scent of cinnamon and cloves, the zing of ginger, and the richness of creamy sauces made dishes come alive, whether drizzled over roast meats, spicing up vegetables, or adding depth to gravies. Growing up, our holiday table was a celebration of these flavors, with each sauce and spice telling a part of our family's story and cultural roots. But as holiday meals become simpler and less spice-focused, the art of feasting on spices and sauces is fading from many tables. Doesn't it make you long for the days when Christmas dinner was a symphony of flavors, each one crafted to make the meal unforgettable and to bring a sense of warmth and connection to everyone gathered around? Roast Swan. Have you ever imagined a Christmas feast so grand that it was reserved for royalty? In the Tudor period, roast swan was exactly that, a lavish, regal dish served only at the most opulent of Christmas tables, often adorned with elaborate sauces and rich sides. The swan, roasted to golden perfection, symbolized both luxury and celebration, filling the grand halls with its distinctive aroma. For noble families, serving roast swan wasn't just a meal, it was an event, marking the height of Christmas festivities, with a dish as rare and majestic as the holiday itself. Each bite was a taste of tradition, wealth, and the finest that the season had to offer. Today, swans are a protected species, and this historic dish has faded into legend, a reminder of another era. Doesn't it make you wonder about those feasts of the past, when Christmas dinners were filled with rare delicacies that made the holiday feel truly extraordinary? Kivak. Can you imagine a holiday meal so unique and carefully crafted that it captures the resilience and traditions of an ancient culture? For Inuit communities, Kivak was precisely that, a winter delicacy made by fermenting small seabirds inside a sealskin, then burying it for months to allow the flavors to develop. Once winter arrived, the sealskin would be opened, revealing a pungent, protein-rich feast that sustained families through the darkest, coldest days. This wasn't just food. It was a testament to resourcefulness, patience, and the communal spirit of sharing a rare treat during the harsh Arctic winter. Today, Kivak is rarely made, with modern Inuit Christmas feasts often focusing on fish or game meats instead. But doesn't the thought of it bring a sense of wonder for the traditions that, while unusual to some, embody the warmth and togetherness of a Christmas meal prepared with care and respect for nature's gifts? Poska. In a different part of the world, the essence of tradition is captured in a much gentler way. Have you ever tasted a holiday dish so comforting it felt like a hug in a bowl? For Armenian families, poshka was exactly that, a rich, nourishing soup made from tender lamb and hearty grains, traditionally served during Christmas. This warm and filling dish symbolized togetherness, with each spoonful offering a taste of home and heritage. The slow-cooked lamb, combined with earthy grains, created a wholesome blend that brought families together around the table, warding off the winter chill with its hearty flavors. Growing up, Poska was more than just a meal. It was a tradition, a reminder of generations past who shared the same flavors, filling the air with laughter and warmth. Poska is becoming less common as more modern dishes replace it at Christmas feasts. Doesn't it make you nostalgic for those holiday meals when a simple, soulful soup was all you needed to feel the spirit of the season? Roast reindeer. Can you picture a Christmas meal so rooted in tradition that it connected each family member to their heritage? For Scandinavian and Sami communities, roast reindeer was exactly that, a festive dish reserved for the holiday season celebrating the bounty of the northern lands. Prepared with care, the reindeer meat was roasted to perfection, tender and rich, often served with root vegetables, lingonberry sauce, and hearty sides. Growing up, the aroma of roasting reindeer filled the home, symbolizing not just a meal, but the gathering of family and the continuity of cultural customs. It was a centerpiece that turned the Christmas table into a scene of warmth, history, and togetherness. Today, reindeer is still enjoyed, but has become less common as a Christmas centerpiece, with other dishes taking its place. Doesn't it make you nostalgic for those feasts of the past, when a traditional dish could fill the season with a sense of place, family, and belonging? Stuffed dormouse. Can you imagine a winter feast so unique it feels like stepping into another era? During the Roman festival of Saturnalia, a celebration that echoed the joy and festivity of Christmas, one delicacy often served was the stuffed dormouse. This small, carefully prepared rodent, seasoned and stuffed with spices, nuts, or grains, was considered a luxury, symbolizing the abundance and indulgence of the season. In ancient Rome, families and friends gathered to honor Saturn, the god of agriculture, feasting on dishes like stuffed dormouse, which brought a festive richness to the meal. For Romans, it wasn't just about the food. It was about celebrating prosperity, joy, and connection with loved ones. Stuffed dormouse has long since disappeared from holiday tables, replaced by more familiar festive fare. Doesn't it make you wonder about those lavish Saturnalia feasts when dishes like this held deep meaning and added an exotic touch to the celebration? Lutefisk. Have you ever heard of a holiday dish so unique that it becomes a part of family lore? Lutefisk is one such dish, a traditional Norwegian Christmas delicacy made by soaking dried whitefish in lye, transforming it into a gelatinous, almost jelly-like texture. This distinctive dish, often served with potatoes, peas, and a rich white sauce, has been a part of Norwegian Christmas celebrations for centuries. Growing up, many families would gather around the table, sharing this time-honored dish, whose unusual texture and flavor made it both a cultural experience and a memory. For those who grew up with it, lutefisk wasn't just food. It was a taste of tradition, a connection to heritage, and a reminder of the long history of Norwegian winter feasts. Christmas meals become more modern. Lutefisk is becoming rarer on the holiday table. Doesn't it make you long for the old traditions, when every dish was a symbol of the season and connected us to our roots in such a unique way? Goose with dumplings. Can you imagine a Christmas dinner so flavorful that it has stood the test of time for centuries? In Germany, roast goose with dumplings was once the star of the holiday feast, its golden, crispy skin and tender meat paired perfectly with hearty, soft dumplings and tangy red cabbage. This rich, comforting meal symbolized the warmth and abundance of the season, filling the house with an irresistible aroma as it roasted slowly in the oven. For generations, families would gather around the table, savoring each bite of goose, which was not just a dish, but a tradition that brought the family together during the most special time of year. However, the classic goose with dumplings has been replaced by turkey or duck on many Christmas tables. Doesn't it make you nostalgic for the days when the smell of a roasted goose signaled the arrival of the holidays, and every bite felt like a taste of history and family tradition? Fried carp. Can you picture a Christmas Eve dinner so steeped in tradition that it becomes a part of family folklore? In Poland, fried carp was once the centerpiece of many holiday feasts. The ritual of preparing the carp was as memorable as the meal itself. Families would often keep the fish alive in bathtubs, then fry it on Christmas Eve. Its golden crust and delicate flavor, filling the air with festive anticipation. For many, the sight of a perfectly fried carp on the table was a symbol of the season, bringing people together to celebrate, share stories, and enjoy a dish that had been part of their heritage for generations. Fried carp is becoming less common, as many Polish families opt for other fish, preferring its milder taste and ease of preparation. Doesn't it make you nostalgic for those holiday meals when the carp was not just food, but a piece of history, tying the past to the present with every bite? Therid. Do you ever long for a Christmas meal so simple, yet filled with deep meaning and tradition? Therid, a humble dish made of meat and bread soaked in a flavorful broth, was once a beloved Christmas dish among Christian Arabs. The warmth of the broth, combined with tender meat and soft soaked bread, made it a comforting and hearty meal, perfect for sharing with family on Christmas Day. Though it was a simple dish, it carried with it the essence of togetherness, warmth, and the joy of breaking bread with loved ones often enjoyed after a long day of holiday festivities. However, as times have changed, therid has faded from many Christmas tables, replaced by more elaborate dishes. Doesn't it make you nostalgic for those simple yet meaningful meals, when food wasn't just about the complexity of preparation, but about the love and warmth shared in every bite? Thank you for stepping back in time with us to rediscover the 25 Christmas dinner traditions we've left behind. If this nostalgic trip made you smile, like, subscribe, and join us for more heartwarming journeys.